Welcome back to my channel. Celeb Buzz, please share and subscribe and press the bell icon for new updates. Ron Howard finally talks about Jim Nabors. Ron Howard was born on March 1st, 1954 in Duncan, Oklahoma. His real name is Ronald William Howard. Ron grew up around movies and TV shows because his dad, Rance Howard, was an actor, and his mom, Jean Spiegel Howard, was an actress too. Little Ron spent lots of time on movie sets and sound stages. He learned all about making movies and TV shows from a very young age. This wasn't just luck, it was meant to be. Ron started acting when he was super young. He became famous across America as a kid actor. People loved him because he was charming, honest, and seemed very natural on TV. When Ron was only 6 years old, he played a character named Opie Taylor on a TV show called The Andy Griffith Show. This role made him really famous in American TV history. As Opie, he was the curious son of a smart sheriff in a town called Mayberry. Ron became someone that families all across the country loved watching. His friendship with Andy Griffith wasn't just for the cameras, it was real. Andy was like a father figure and teacher to Ron. They had one of the sweetest friendships, both on TV and in real life, that people had ever seen. After the Andy Griffith Show ended, Ron kept acting as a teenager. His next big role was playing Richie Cunningham on a show called Happy Days. Richie was the perfect 1950s All-American boy. The show was hugely popular, and Ron's acting as the good, honest Richie helped make the show feel real and emotional. Even though other characters like Fonzie were funny and wild, Ron kept the show grounded. Even though this role made Ron super famous, he always stayed humble and down to earth. He never let being a star change who he was as a person. But the most amazing thing about Ron Howard's career isn't his acting, it's how he became a movie director. Many child stars have trouble when they grow up and try to do new things, but Ron quietly and carefully changed himself into a serious and creative filmmaker. He made his first movie as a director in 1977. It was a low-budget comedy called Grand Theft Auto, and he also helped write it. From there, his career as a director took off. The former child actor quickly became one of Hollywood's most respected storytellers. Over many years, Ron Howard directed lots of movies that critics loved and that made lots of money. His 1984 fantasy romance movie Splash starred Tom Hanks and Daryl Hannah. It was a surprise hit and showed that Howard had become a major director. He then made Cocoon in 1985, Willow in 1988, and Parenthood in 1989. Each movie showed he could handle different types of stories, from science fiction and fantasy to heartfelt family dramas. In the 1990s and 2000s, Howard made his reputation even stronger with movies that got Oscar nominations. These included Apollo 13 in 1995, which was a tense and emotional story about NASA's near disaster. He also made A Beautiful Mind in 2001, which won him Academy Awards for Best Director and Best Picture. In 2006, Ron Howard took on the challenge of directing The Da Vinci Code. This was a mystery thriller movie based on Dan Brown's best-selling book with the same name. The book had already caused a lot of controversy around the world because of how it talked about religious themes, secret societies, and different ways of understanding Christian history. This meant that the movie version faced a lot of opposition even before it came out. The Roman Catholic Church and other religious groups were especially upset. These organizations criticized the film because they thought it twisted religious facts and could hurt people's faith. Despite this intense backlash and calls for people to boycott the movie, Ron Howard's directing managed to keep the film's suspenseful and exciting story while being careful about its sensitive content. The film combined fast-paced storytelling, interesting puzzles, and the star power of Tom Hanks, who played the main character, Robert Langdon. This combination captivated audiences around the world. In the end, Da Vinci Code was a major box office success, making over $750 million, 0 cents globally. The film's financial success proved again that Howard was a skilled director who could handle complex stories that mixed history, suspense, and drama. Building on his impressive directing achievements, Ron Howard worked with his longtime producing partner Brian Grazer to start a very influential television and film production company called Imagine Entertainment. This company was established in the late 1980s, but grew stronger over the years. It became a powerhouse in Hollywood for producing many critically acclaimed and commercially successful projects. Imagine Entertainment played a big role in shaping modern storytelling. It offered films and TV shows across many different types, from drama and comedy to thriller and biographical movies. Under Howard and Grazer's leadership, Imagine produced notable works like A Beautiful Mind, which won the Academy Award for Best Picture. They also made the TV series Arrested Development, which was praised for its unique humor and writing. This production company let Howard expand his influence in the entertainment industry. He wasn't just a director anymore, but also a visionary producer who helped nurture diverse creative talents and projects. In 2015, Howard returned to directing with the adventure drama film In the Heart of the Sea. This was a cinematic retelling of the scary true story that inspired Herman Melville's classic novel, Moby Dick. The film explored the dramatic 1820 sinking of the whale ship Essex by a giant sperm whale and the crew's fight for survival afterward. Despite being a visually stunning and emotionally intense movie, the film got mixed reactions from critics and audiences, but Howard's direction was praised for capturing the epic scale and raw human drama of the story. He emphasized themes of courage, endurance, and the power of nature. The project showed Howard's continued interest in blending historical stories with compelling cinematic storytelling, further cementing his status as a director willing to tackle challenging subjects. Following up on his earlier success with The Da Vinci Code, Ron Howard directed Inferno in 2016. This was the third film in the Robert Langdon series based on Dan Brown's novels. This sequel followed the main character as he solved a sinister plot tied to Dante Alighieri's famous literary work, The Divine Comedy. The film starred Tom Hanks playing his role again, and continued the formula of combining intellectual puzzles with thrilling action sequences. While Inferno didn't get the same critical praise as the movies before it, fans of the franchise still appreciated it for its globe-trotting adventure and mystery elements. Howard's continued involvement in this series showed his commitment to adapting complex novels into engaging films and keeping a popular cinematic universe going. In 2018, Ron Howard took on a completely different type of project by directing Solo, a Star Wars story, a standalone film within the huge Star Wars universe. This movie explored the backstory of the beloved character Han Solo, one of the franchise's most iconic figures. Harrison Ford originally played this character, but Howard's version starred Alden Ehrenreich as the young Han Solo. Woody Harrelson and Emilia Clarke played important supporting roles. The production of Solo was notably turbulent. Howard stepped in to replace the original directors Phil Lord and Christopher Miller partway through filming because of creative differences with Lucasfilm. Despite these challenges, Howard managed to steer the film to completion. He delivered a story that explored Han Solo's origins, his early relationships, and how he became the roguish smuggler audiences love. Although the film received mixed reviews and had a modest box office performance compared to other Star Wars movies, it was praised for its high production values, action sequences, and charismatic performances. This film added another significant franchise to Howard's directing portfolio, and it demonstrated his versatility and ability to handle large-scale effects-driven blockbusters. In November 2017, Howard announced that he would be teaching his first directing class. November 24th, 2020, Howard's drama film Hillbilly Elegy was released on Netflix. The film is based on the memoir of the same name by J.D. Vance and was adapted for the screen by Vanessa Taylor. The film stars Academy Award nominees Glenn Close and Amy Adams. The film received widespread negative reception from critics. In March 2021, Howard began filming the survival drama 13 Lives, a film based on the Thai cave rescue in 2018. It was released in select theaters on July 29th, 2022 by United Artists Releasing, and began streaming on Prime Video on August 5th, 2022. The film received generally positive reviews from critics. In 2022, Netflix got from Paramount Pictures The Shrinking of Treehorn, which will mark Howard's first time directing an animated feature. Ron Howard's personal life has been marked by a long-lasting and loving marriage to Cheryl Alley, whom he married on June 7th, 1975. Cheryl Alley was born on December 23rd, 1953, and the couple's relationship has lasted several decades. This highlights a stable and supportive partnership in the often crazy and demanding world of Hollywood. Their marriage began when both were relatively young, and over the years they have built a family together. While Ron's career changed from child actor to highly respected filmmaker and producer, Cheryl Alley has been a steady presence by Ron's side. She has provided a foundation of strength and continuity that has definitely contributed to his success and personal well-being. Their marriage is often mentioned as proof of lasting love and commitment in an industry where relationships frequently face intense public scrutiny and pressures. Throughout their marriage, they have supported each other's goals and kept a close-knit family life away from the spotlight. Together, Ron Howard and Cheryl Alley have 4 children, a significant part of their lives that brings joy and fulfillment beyond their professional achievements. Among their children are 2 daughters who have followed in their father's footsteps into the entertainment world, Bryce Dallas Howard and Paige Howard. Bryce Dallas Howard, born in 1981, has made herself known as a prominent actress and director. She's known for her work in major films and television projects. Her success is often seen as an extension of the creative environment created by her parents. Paige Howard has also pursued acting, building her own career in film and television. The family dynamic has been characterized by mutual support and encouragement. Ron and Cheryl have nurtured their children's talents while allowing them the freedom to create their own paths. The Howards value privacy and often keep family matters out of the public eye, focusing instead on the quality of their relationships. For decades, the relationship between Ron Howard and Jim Nabors, 2 iconic figures from classic American television, has remained covered in mystery and guessing. Both actors were beloved for their roles on The Andy Griffith Show, a series that became a cultural staple and launched their careers into stardom. However, behind the scenes, their interactions were far more complicated than the warmth and friendship viewers might have assumed. And recently, Ron Howard has finally chosen to break his long-standing silence about Jim Nabors. He's shedding light on the true nature of their relationship, revealing feelings and incidents that had never been publicly discussed before. Ron Howard, who played Opie Taylor on the show, has always been known for his honesty and thoughtfulness when reflecting on his past. Yet when it came to Jim Nabors, the actor who played Gomer Pyle, he remained largely silent. He often deflected questions and steered conversations away from personal details about Jim. The reason for this silence was rooted in a complex mixture of professional tensions and personal disappointments. Ron Howard has now explained that while Jim Nabors was widely loved for his sweet and goofy on-screen persona, behind the cameras he was actually a very different person. He was someone who was difficult to work with and whose behavior was sometimes truly evil, as Howard put it. Howard described specific examples of how Nabors' attitude created a toxic working environment. Though Jim Nabors was praised for his comedic talent and the charm he brought to Gomer Pyle, those close to the production witnessed a darker side. According to Howard, Nabors could be manipulative and mean-spirited. He sometimes undermined colleagues and created divisions on set. This stark contrast between Nabors' public image and private conduct led to many behind-the-scenes conflicts. Ron Howard, who was just a child actor at the time, found these experiences particularly upsetting. He felt that the happy image projected on television hid a deep hostility that was difficult for him to process as a young person. Moreover, Ron Howard revealed that the toxicity went beyond simple personality clashes. Nabors reportedly engaged in behaviors that made the working atmosphere tense and stressful. Howard spoke about how this negativity affected his own work and personal growth during those important years in Hollywood. Instead of feeling supported by a cast and crew that should have felt like a family, Howard often felt isolated and at odds with Nabors. Jim wielded considerable influence on set due to his popularity and seniority. Breaking this silence was not an easy decision for Ron Howard. For many years, he feared backlash and criticism for speaking out about a beloved figure who had only recently passed away. Howard explained that it took decades for him to come to terms with his own experiences and to realize the importance of honesty, even when it might be uncomfortable or controversial. By finally sharing his perspective, Howard hopes to paint a fuller, more complete picture of Jim Nabors, one that acknowledges his talents, but also does not shy away from the harm he caused to those around him. This revelation from Ron Howard has sparked renewed interest and debate among fans of The Andy Griffith Show and television historians alike. It challenges the nostalgic memory of the show's harmonious cast and highlights the often hidden difficulties behind producing beloved entertainment. Howard's courage in coming forward encourages others in the industry to share their own untold stories, promoting a culture of transparency and accountability. Ron Howard's decision to break his silence about Jim Nabors offers a long-awaited and much-needed look behind the scenes. It exposes the stark contrast between Nabors' public persona and his true character, revealing how his actions impacted those who worked with him. By doing so, Howard not only honors his own experiences, but also contributes to a broader understanding